Yeah, yeah, yeah. Show me some. Show me. Show me some. Show me. Show me some.
Good day, madam.
I wonder how many ways you said that so far on the podcast. Good
I
day,
wonder if we,
sir. By the
I wonder if
way,
we could go back and grab all the clips of them and like just.
that would be really good. I like that. And just do like a reel of us saying that.
I think that would be awesome. Let's see if we can do it differently this time. Good day, madam.
Sir.
Every time you do it like very high pitched like that, it like your microphone like it goes out.
Really? Does it really?
Yeah.
Ooh, good day, sir.
Oh my God, that was probably your best one yet.
Really?
My
You're
life is
better.
complete. My day is complete when I hear that. I just want you to know this. Every week I get to
Yes.
hear you do that. It makes me feel so good. I'm digging your colors today.
I'm purple-licious today.
Purplicious.
Purplicious. I feel like this
I
is
like
low. Is
purplicious.
this low?
Is it what? No, you're
I feel
fine.
like that was low. Okay.
Why? Because you're bending down into it?
Well, this setup is very unconventional. I'll just tell you that ahead of time.
I can't wait for you to see my setup. I still need to do something. I was working on it and then kind of got distracted, but I need you to come over and like set this up.
Okay,
Why
done.
don't you come hook me up?
Let's do it.
Okay. All right.
I like it. I like it.
I
Well,
do too. So what do you want to talk about today?
so I was thinking about a call I got the other day, right? And I don't know about you guys, but what do you do when people you don't know call? Like, do you pick it up? Do you wait for them to triple dial you? Like, how does that work? Because my 11-year-old loves it when people call and he wants to steal the phone. And I can't remember what he says exactly, but he'll be like, if you give me the $2.50, I give you the or something to that. And so
I'm gonna need to teach that kid how to prank call people.
oh no, well, that's his a prank answer, right? So it's
Okay,
like,
so prank answers. I can still teach him a few things.
yeah, we already know. When John and I went out for dinner with my kids, he was getting them to go, good day, madam, as loud as they could inside like a lounge of like a really fancy restaurant. So
yeah, and Miranda threatened to walk out, and she
I did
even
walk
did
out.
so much as walk all the way to the door. And I said, I promise we'll stop. Get back here.
I need 3 glasses of wine before we go out next time.
But yes, no, I don't answer those damn because seriously, I have way too many phone calls. I don't want to talk to people I don't know. Right? So like I'm good there.
Okay, so when I answered, the person was like, hi, this is so-and-so, and I'm blah, 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 and I'm like, oh, like, I'm just like, and it had me thinking, like, how many of us might be doing that, right? When we're calling people and like, who is this? We're like, and we're just like having like verbal diarrhea, like all over our client, right? Instead of being, I always say we want to be like a lawyer or like, or a doctor and have that posture of that like authority figure on the phone. So John, what do you think about that?
There's a term, Miranda, and I don't know why, but this will stick with me forever, that Ben Safepour said. Is we were all on like a little bit of a golf trip, and like I was just a million miles a minute, right? Like just all over Ben, messing with him, and he's like, John, I have sensory overload right now. And if you think about that, like that's all you're doing to people in that first like 3 seconds is it's sensory overload, right? You cannot do sensory overload. It's just like you said, it's you have to come across like a doctor. Think about how boring a doctor is when they're explaining something to you. Right? That kind of idea.
Every Wednesday I do like a role play class. Sometimes there's 20, 30, 50 people on it. And last week I got to work with a group that had been listening to our podcast a lot. They knew their phone rebuttals. They were like, just like a lot of you guys listening, really like upping their game. So we were able to dive into some more advanced stuff. And what we found out, like at the beginning of the call, you want to smile, right? You have 3 seconds to make an impression.
Yeah.
But let's talk about, John, how to not verbal diarrhea and really take control of that beginning, because there's ways that we can really set the stage early on for people to respect us, right? And if they can respect us in the first few seconds of the call, you're probably going to book an appointment and you have a really good chance of helping these people. So let's kind of role play what's probably happening right now to our listeners, and then we'll redo it in a new way that's really going to help people take control of the intro.
And I think like Mern, I've heard you kind of do this before. I think the way that you set up kind of the client's name is really good, right? Meaning like you're not asking if they're there. You're almost
Yeah.
like, do you see what I'm saying?
So like when
For
you're
that first.
calling your lead, don't just like try to make it sound like you know them. So instead of being like, "Hi, is John Ziller there, please?" Like it's, "Hey, John." Just assume that person that's your, like, pretend it's your buddy from before. "Hey, John," and then, "Hey, it's Miranda Martin," and then you go into your script, right? You don't want to be like, "Hi, Mr. Ziller, please." Like any of that. Like you don't want to tip them off that they don't know you or that you are calling about like sales of some sort, because they're immediately going to put their guard up.
No.
Right. So that's critical. Number one, say it strong, even if you're wrong. But I think a lot of people run into the trap when it's like, they're like, "Well, who is this?" Right. So let's practice that.
Okay.
And really, and then we'll dive into one other part of the script that I think is really important for us taking control as well.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, John, please. Hey, John.
Yeah, who is this?
This is Miranda Martin, and I'm following up on your mortgage for that you own at 12345 Street for mortgage protection and blah 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 blah.
Okay.
Did I generate any interest with that?
No.
Okay. Did I stick to the script? Well, I don't have one out, but like the whole idea is like we don't want to just like plow this down his throat. I hate the phrase, John, when people say that we are just dialing and we're not here to generate interest. We're looking for the interested people. I think that's BS. Okay. I think it's BS. I'm not going to swear because I don't want to get in
I can't
trouble.
tell you how many times I've even said that.
I don't agree with it. That
No,
is
that's okay.
weak crap. That's weak crap. And here's why: we generate interest. Everyone that's on here, you are responsible to generate interest. Here's how. Okay. So
Yeah.
John now is going to ask me again. Ask me who it is again. Hey, John.
Yeah, who is this?
This is Miranda Martin. Thank you. Is this John?
Yes.
Hey, John, my name again is Miranda Martin, and I'm following up with you on the letter that you sent back looking for some mortgage protection options. It's on the home that you own at 12345 Street.
Hmm.
How much different is that than it's Miranda and blah, 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 blah,
Yeah, just verbal vomit.
Yes. So we are going to
Would you call
generate
it
interest.
diarrhea?
Verbal diarrhea. Here's the thing, that if we take it a step further with the deflections, right? So we're going to pick one. We're going to use something like, "That's exactly why I'm calling," or "That's a great question. I'll get to that in a minute." Right? This time, John, I want you to say, "Who is this? And what are you calling about?"
Okay.
So I'll say, "Who is this?" And I'll tell you. And then I want you to go, "Well, what are you calling about? Are you calling about my mortgage?" Blah, blah, blah. Say something like that. Okay.
Okay.
Just in
All
that
right.
first line.
All
"Hey,
right.
John."
Yeah, who is this?
Miranda Martin. Thank you. Is this John?
Yeah, why are you calling?
I'll get to that in a minute. What I'm calling about, John, is you had sent in a letter for mortgage protection on the home that you own at 12345 Street.
Hmm. I think the first way was the wrong way. This sounds like it's definitely the better way.
So if you say, let's say if they ask you, "Hey, are you calling about my mortgage? What is this?" And you say, "You know what? That's exactly why I'm calling." And you keep talking, are you now generating interest? Yes, right? Because you're giving them a reason to stay on the phone with you, right? If we
Yeah.
just try to jam a script down his throat, we're not taking control. He's not looking at us like a professional. He's looking at us as a telemarketer that's trying to get through the script. That introduction alone, oh my gosh. So I role played, like I had about, I think 4 or 5 active like people doing it back and forth with me last week. Was night and freaking day just doing the introduction like that.
You know, it's crazy too, because think of how many people you miss, right? Just by simply trying to shove the script down their throat. And that was one thing that like I'd never really understood about you, is like when you first got into this business, like you're like, "I love these bonus leads." Or I'm like, "Give me these damn A leads." Right? And you loved them because you knew that the people before you weren't handling it properly the way that you're talking about right now. And this will
And
just give you the
when
ability
we
to be
talked
like,
about proper, John, another thing I want to check in on is at Ignite, we told everybody, that was what, like 2-3 weeks ago now,
yeah,
to take the periods and commas out of your introductory paragraph.
yeah,
I want everyone here. Have you done that? Because here's what I found, okay? We're doing these role plays every week. I can tell the people that have, and I can tell the people that haven't. Because the people
yeah,
that have those periods and commas, they sound freaking awesome. They're not going up at the end of their sentences. They're not questioning. I'm calling from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 street. They're not doing that because they're adding in at least 1 or 2 words from the next the next sentence, then pausing, or they're pausing before something that people want to hear. So piggyback that along with doing a very strong intro where we're like, this is Miranda Martin. Thank you. Is this so-and-so? Because I
mm,
don't, and then boom, you keep on going and you don't pause at the end of those sentences. You're going to get through that first paragraph with almost every single person.
that's so
Talk
good.
slow.
That is so good. This is going to be a must watch for our team.
Must watch. Okay, there's one more part though that
Okay.
I think is really going to help, right? Because now do we have time to go into one more thing really fast?
We do. I mean, we're at 11 minutes and 3 seconds right now, so we're good.
Okay.
If we didn't have that 2 minutes of bantering, and then we would have been perfect.
So, okay.
I'm
So
just kidding.
here's the thing. Okay, there's another spot later in the okay, we got through the underwriting, right? We're all the way through. We're at the point when we're booking the time with our client. Typically, you are going to want to ask something along the lines of, hey, John, so when are you and Jessica usually home together? Is it like during the day, mornings, like evenings? Like what's normally best for you guys when you're both together,
Yeah, and I would
right?
say 5:15.
So here's what I'll tell you. So if you're trying to book people at night, don't offer, say day. Don't say, hey, are you guys normally home during the day,
Yeah.
afternoon, or just offer up the spots that you actually want them to pick in your selection, right?
Yeah.
So
So that's really good. And I know that like people have like a fear of doing that, and it's crazy. Like understand that we need to lead them, and this is just one little small tip and kind of leading them, right? And so I think that that's such an important point, is that if I really, like, people are like, oh, I can never fill up my mornings. Offer mornings. If you
yeah,
offer morning only, you will fill it up.
yep,
You acted like your afternoon and your evenings were just way too, you're slammed. You don't have anything else available. The only thing, here's the 2 options that I have available. Which one will work better? People will start picking that morning option. That's a really good
yeah.
point.
So if you want mornings, you could be like, would early morning be better or later in the morning be better for you? Because all you're doing with that is you're trying to figure out, so when you offer up the time, you have the best chance of them picking it.
Yeah.
But here's a trap, right? So you're going to ask something like that. You can talk to them about their schedule. But once you get into your date and time progression, you are no longer allowed to ask them about their schedule anymore. Like what works, when are you home?
Oh,
Because now you've given away control when you do that. So
okay.
here's what happens is, before you offer the times, you can talk to John all day long about his schedule, right? Take your notes. And then here's what happens. Let's say he wants weekends. Most people are going to just go directly to the weekend. Not me, not you. And here's how, okay? Because what is the best time for people to book? Like, how soon is it for us to have the best show rate?
Today.
Today, right? How
Yeah.
can we book an appointment for today if we're going to just go immediately to the weekend?
Right.
So here's how you do it. And I want you guys to write this down because it's like so important. You can get away with doing anything and offering anything as long as the client knows you heard them. So I could say, John, listen, I know that you want Saturday and the weekend, but because of how busy I am, I'm just going to tell you the spots I still have left, and we'll somehow see if that'll work for you and your wife. So here's what I have. I have tonight at 5:30, and then I have also 7:30, but that's all I have left tonight. Would that somehow work? 5:30 tonight or 7 o'clock for you and your wife together?
Yeah.
He says, no, I go to tomorrow. Listen, I know this probably won't work because you want the weekend, but I'm so busy that this is all I really have left. I do have a 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, or I could do 6 o'clock at night. Do you want to do the 9 in the morning, or would the 6 o'clock work better for you and Jessica when you're both home together?
Mm.
No? Okay, next day. you already know he can do it on the weekend, right? That's for sure. So why don't we offer up times between now and then to try to get them booked,
Yeah.
right?
And
The dumbest
it's
questions
a
of
part
all.
of like kind of staying in control in a weird way too,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
And as soon as, just like you said, as soon as you give up control, like you're done. And so you have to maintain that. So I do like that. How, like, what are your thoughts? Like, because I know, and then we're just being open and candid right now, but what are your thoughts on like the 557 or 603? Like,
I'm down. I
that's
think,
something that I've been really kind of telling the team, just because I want to paint that perception in their brain to think, oh wow, it's 5:57 as a time. Like it's my 6 o'clock. They don't need to know that, but
Mhm.
5:57, right? Because we're painting a perception in their brain that says, hey, this isn't going to take that long. Higher
Yeah.
probability that they show by thinking those weird ass times.
Yeah, no, I'm down. I think the biggest thing that I hope people take away is the fact that it's okay to offer the same day or a time that might not work based on what they told you earlier on, as long as you tell them, John, I heard you, but because I'm busy, right? We always want to be busier than them. Because I'm busy, I'm going to tell you what I have and we'll see if it works.
Mm,
That is the best thing you can do. And I
big
promise
win.
you, when you do it, I bet you somebody listening to this is going to go try this as soon as we're done, and they're going to book someone for a time that they didn't think they would take because they offered it. So that's
Can
it.
you guys message us too when that happens? Can you go
Yeah.
over to YouTube and message us? We just found out that like the whole world is listening on like Apple. We have the most listeners on Apple.
Yeah.
Spotify is in second with like 1 billion. And then So Limited. Come over to YouTube, please. Pretty please. I know it's a little different. Just hit the subscribe button on YouTube. It'll pop right up and you get to watch us and we get to interact with you. That's what we love. So awesome. I absolutely love this one. This is going to be a must listen to for our team, Miranda Martin. You are amazing.
Hey,
If they
you
don't want
are.
to suck at sales, what should they do?
Click subscribe, like,
And
buy
merch.
our merch. Oh, I didn't wear
Yes.
my hat. That's okay.
Oh, you
Next
did.
time.
There
Next
you
time
go.
I'll wear the hat.
All right. I said her hair looked too good for that hat. So
All
awesome. Thanks,
right. We'll see you
y'all.
next time.
Bye, y'all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Show me some. Show me some. Show me some.